Three crowns were conferred upon Israel: the crown of Torah, the crown of priesthood, and the crown of royalty. Aaron merited the crown of priesthood, as Numbers 25:13 states, and it will be an eternal covenant of priesthood for him and his descendants after him. David merited the crown of royalty, as Psalms 89:37 states, his seed will continue forever, and his throne will be as the sun before me. The crown of Torah is set aside waiting and ready for each Jew, as implied by Deuteronomy 33:4. The Torah which Moses commanded us is the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. Whoever desires may come and take it. Lest you say that the other crowns surpass the crown of Torah, Proverbs 8:15-16 states, by me kings reign, princes decree justice, and nobles rule. Thus you have learned that the crown of Torah is greater than the other two. 2. Our sages declared that even a Torah sage who is a mamzer deserves precedence over a high priest who is unlearned. As implied by Proverbs 3:15, it is more precious than pearls. That verse is interpreted as meaning more precious than the high priest who enters the innermost chambers. 3. None of the other mitzvot can be equated to the study of Torah. Rather, the study of Torah can be equated to all the mitzvot, because study leads to deed. Therefore, study takes precedence over deed in all cases. 4. The following rules apply when a person is confronted with the performance of a mitzvah and the study of Torah. If the mitzvah can be performed by another individual, he should not interrupt his studies. If not, he should perform the mitzvah and then return to his studies. 5. The first aspect of a person's judgment in the world to come will center on Torah study. Only afterwards will his other deeds be considered. Accordingly, our sages would say, a person should always occupy himself in Torah study, whether for the sake of God, or even if not for the sake of God. For from the study of Torah, which is not carried out for the sake of God, will come the study of Torah, which is carried out for the sake of God. 6. A person whose heart inspires him to fulfill this mitzvah in a fitting manner, and to become crowned with the crown of Torah, should not divert his attention to other matters. He should not set his sights on acquiring Torah together with wealth and honor simultaneously. Rather, this is the path of Torah. Eat bread with salt, drink water in small measure, sleep on the ground, live a life of difficulty, and toil in Torah. The task is not incumbent upon you to complete, nor are you free to abstain from it. If you have acquired much Torah, you have acquired much reward, and that reward is commensurate with the suffering experienced. Perhaps one will say, I will interrupt my studies until after I gather money, and then I will return and study. I will interrupt my studies until after I buy what I need, and then, when I can divert my attention from my business, I will return and study. If you consider such thoughts, you will never merit the crown of Torah. Rather, make your work secondary, and your Torah study a fixed matter. Do not say, when I have free time, I will study, for perhaps you will never have free time. 8. It is written in the Torah, Deuteronomy 30:12-13, it is not in the heavens, it is not across the sea. This implies, it is not in the heavens, i.e., it is not found in the proud-spirited. It is not across the sea, i.e., it is not found in those who travel across the sea. Therefore, our sages said not everyone who is excessively involved in business will become wise. Our sages also commanded, minimize your business activities and occupy yourself with Torah. 9. The words of Torah can be compared to water, as Isaiah 55:1 states, behold, all who are thirsty, come to the water. This teaches you that just as water does not collect on an incline, but rather flows from it and collects in a low place, similarly, the words of Torah will not be found in the arrogant or in the hearts of any of the haughty, but rather in the humble and lowly, who sit in the dust at the feet of the sages, and remove the desires and pleasures of the times from their hearts. They do only a minimal amount of work each day to earn their livelihood if they have nothing to eat. The rest of their days and nights are involved with Torah study. 10. Anyone who comes to the conclusion that he should involve himself in Torah study without doing work and derive his livelihood from charity desecrates God's name, dishonors the Torah, extinguishes the light of faith, brings evil upon himself, and forfeits the life of the world to come. for it is forbidden to derive benefit from the words of Torah in this world. Our sages declared, whoever benefits from the words of Torah forfeits his life in the world. Also they commanded and declared, do not make them a crown for self-aggrandizement, nor an axe to cut with. Also they commanded and declared, love work and despise rabbinic positions. All Torah that is not accompanied by work will eventually be negated and lead to sin. Ultimately, such a person will steal from others. It is a tremendous advantage for a person to derive his livelihood from his own efforts, and is an attribute possessed by the pious of the earlier generations. In this manner, one will merit all the honor and benefit in this world and in the world to come, as Psalms 128:2 states, if you eat the toil of your hands, you will be happy, and it will be good for you. You will be happy in this world. It will be good for you in the world to come, which is entirely good. 12. The words of Torah will not be permanently acquired by a person who applies himself feebly to obtain them, and not by those who study amid pleasure and an abundance of food and drink. Rather, one must give up his life for them, constantly straining his body to the point of discomfort, without granting sleep to his eyes or slumber to his eyelids. The sages alluded to this concept, interpreting Numbers 19:14, this is the Torah. A man should he die in a tent, to mean that the Torah cannot be permanently acquired, except by a person who gives up his life in the tents of wisdom. Similarly, Solomon said in his wisdom, Proverbs 24:10, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. He also said, Ecclesiastes 2:9, also, my wisdom remained with me. This can be interpreted to mean, the wisdom which I learned in anger, this is what remained with me. Our sages declared, a covenant has been established that anyone who wearies himself in Torah study in a house of study will not forget it quickly. Anyone who wearies himself in Torah study in private will become wise, as Proverbs 11:2 states. To the modest will come wisdom. Whoever raises his voice during his studies will permanently acquire the subject matter. In contrast, one who reads silently will forget quickly. 13. Even though it's a mitzvah to study during the day and at night, it is only at night that a person acquires most of his wisdom. Therefore, a person who desires to merit the crown of Torah should be careful with all his nights, not giving up even one to sleep, eating, drinking, talk, or the like. Rather, they should be devoted to the study of Torah and the words of wisdom. Our sages declared, the song of Torah can be heard only at night, as Micah 2:19 states, arise, sing out at night. Whoever occupies himself with Torah study at night will have a strand of divine favor extended over him during the day, as implied by Psalms 42:9. During the day, God ordains his kindness, and at night, his song is with me, a prayer to the living God. In contrast, any house in which the words of Torah cannot be heard at night will be consumed by fire, as implied by Job 20:26. All the darkness is hidden away from his treasures. A fire that need not be blown will consume him. The verse, Numbers 16:31, he scorned the word of God, applies to someone who pays no attention to Torah at all. Similarly, anyone who has the potential to occupy himself with Torah study and does not, or who has studied both the written and oral law, and turned away to the vanities of the world, leaving behind his study and ignoring it, is included in the category of those who scorn the word of God. Our sages declared, whoever neglects Torah study when wealthy will ultimately neglect it amidst poverty. Whoever maintains the Torah in poverty will ultimately maintain it amidst prosperity. This concept is explicitly mentioned in the Torah, Deuteronomy 28:47-48, which states, because you did not serve God, your Lord, with happiness and good feeling, when there was an abundance of everything, you shall serve your enemies. And Deuteronomy 8:16 states, so that you shall suffer, so that ultimately he will make you prosper.